Good afternoon everybody and welcome to the Village Hall. What we're going to cover this afternoon is a 5 elements exercise. Very easy to follow. One of the main elements we're going to be focusing on today is focusing the breath, okay, when we're doing the movements. So where I want to start at the moment is we're going to start in the traditional way. We're going to wake up our acupoint areas by just tapping around the head to start with, making sure our feet are roughly shoulder width apart and our knees are slightly bent, just to allow our energy gates to open up. So as we tap around the top of the head, coming down to the back of the neck, roughly around this area here, we're going to tap just by locking the fingers a little bit and just tapping a little bit harder. So we continue tapping there, just wakening everything up. It's almost like giving yourself a little neck massage. You're not doing it excessively, you're just giving yourself a little tap just to wake everything up. Okay, the next part we're going to do is we're just going to roll our heads nice and gently. Again, making sure our knees are slightly bent. We're going to breathe in as we bring the head around. And breathe out as we allow the head to go down and forward, nice and gently. We're not racing when we do this, it's not who can do it the quickest. Just nice and gently, taking our time. Focusing on the breath, breathing in and breathing out. What we'll also cover before we go into the 5 elements, we'll just walk through the Wuji stance, which is one of the most popular stances that we use in Qi Gong. So turning the heads now, breathing in as we look over the shoulder, breathing out as we move forward. A good part of this exercise, if you can, when you turn your head and you're breathing in, try and keep your eyes going over to right over the shoulder as far as you can, and then when you breathe back out and back again. So bring it in, continue with your eyes and breathing back out. Just allowing the body to absorb the stretch and opening the acupoint areas. Okay, and when we bring the head forward this time, we just want to move it from side to side, stretching up and stretching down. Not lifting the shoulder, allowing the shoulder to stay where it is and just moving the head. Okay, brilliant. Placing your elbow into the palm of your hand, just as a support, loose fists. We're going to warm the tops of the shoulders up as we do this. Lifting up every so often just to get to the back of the shoulder. Bringing it down, just wakening up this area around the shoulders. And then we're going to do the opposite side. Again, lifting up as if you can and just doing the rounds there, back, etc. Okay, now we're going to do what we call the yin and the yang of the arms, which is the inside of the arms, going right down, touching the fingertips, and then coming back up the other side. And then we go down the other side. And we're just going to work ourselves across the chest, Tarzan style. And then just taking the hands down the centre of the body and just working our way out to the side. So nice and gently. Do this one more time. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do wake the leg meridians up. So we're going to start at the quad, which is this part here. I'm just going to loose fists and just gently tapping the legs as we move down, and then back up the back to the legs as we come back up. So we're going down this way and back up this way. Okay, and we're just going to get the loose fist and just massage the kidney area very gently. Okay, remember we can always do Qi Gong when we're sitting down. So the exercise and the warm-up exercises that we've just done is exactly the same on a sitting position. From this position here, we're going to get our legs just shoulder width apart. Hopefully you can see my feet. My feet are forward on this one. Resting my knees, relaxing the knees. So if I'm leaning, moving backwards and forwards, if I'm standing, I just want to adjust my knees so I'm comfortably sitting straight. Then all we're going to do from here is we're just going to swing the arms nice and gently, not moving the legs, so we're working the waist area as we swing the arms, not forcing them, just allowing them to swing on their own. Okay, and if you can, I wonder if you can, we're going to lift the heel of the foot off the floor, relaxing the quads. We do it on both sides as we swing the arms around. And we're going to open the gates by raising on the heel of the foot this time. Okay, the last one we're going to be doing, so one foot forward, so it's 90 degrees. I'm just going to adjust the camera so you can see me just a little bit better on the feet. Okay, so the foot comes forward on this one, the back foot at about 45 degrees, and we're just going to take the weight out of our knees and we're just going to move backwards and forwards, just gently moving backwards and forwards. Not forcing the arms to swing, just allowing them to throw backwards and forwards freely. Okay, then I'm going to swap over, go to the other side again, 45 degrees, and the foot forward, just letting the arms go backwards and forwards. You can see from this position, foot is forward. Okay, beautiful. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on Ouija stance at the moment, which, as I say, is one of the main stances that we use. It's quite easy, but it's also easy to get wrong. So my feet are forward. We're going to start with the feet. My feet are forward, fully forward as they can be. Okay, they're roughly shoulder width apart, or about 12 inches or so. Okay. If you're in a kitchen where it's got one of the big tiles, it's roughly where the grout is. Okay. From this position here, I'm going to bring my mind back up to my knees. I need to loosen the knees, bend the knees slightly, just to open them, which might mean I may need to do a little bit of adjustment with my feet as I do that. Okay. Then from the centre part, the core area, my coccyx, I want to let it go underneath. And the best way of doing that, just relax the stomach. So nothing is tense, everything is loose around this area. But you'll also notice it becomes quite solid. Now if you feel yourself moving backwards and forwards, can't quite get the level that you're after, or you're feeling that on the side of the foot or the inside of the foot it needs adjusting, just adjust yourself. And the best way of doing that sometimes is just by altering the knee position, just either lifting yourself lower or lowering yourself lower and get until it stops. Okay. The chest area here, we want to open the chest, we want to concave the chest. So what we do is we bring our arms forward so the elbows are almost coming out, and we lift the head up and we bring it back. What I don't want And what we don't want is the arms to come perfectly down by the side again. We just want them to relax by the side of, as if we've got little table tennis balls stuck under our armpits. So this is Ruji stance, and it's the most common stance that we use. Alright? So what we're going to do is we'll go through a 5-element exercise at the moment. I'm going to break it down and then we're going to do it completely together. What I would like you to do, and it's going to sound a little bit strange, but when you're breathing, when we go for the breathing on this one, I want you to imagine that you're breathing in through the back of the ball of the foot and it's rising up through the body, and then it's going back down again on the outward breath through the same point. Okay? Back of the ball of the foot we have a acupoint area called kidney 1, which is connecting us to the earth. So hand position then, I'm just going to change directions a little bit so you can see where my arms are going. The first exercise we're going to do, and they all follow on from each other, but we're going to break it down as I said before. We're going to work on fire. Now what I want you to do is raise the arms up nice and gently. As we raise the arms up, I want you just to bring your hands back slightly. As they come back here, I want to open the palms of my hands. Okay? So again, I'm going to move positions, open the palms of the hands. Now I'm not forcing them up and I'm not using my elbows. I'm not coming up and going, yeah, that's what I want. Okay? What I'm doing is I'm just allowing them to float up as if it's like a sheet in the wind outside on the washing line. As it comes up, I'm allowing it to come up. And we're bringing the arms back into the shoulders here. And we stop. Okay? Now, I'm not going to complicate it too much, but I am going to go through it a few times. So if we bring the movement up, this would be the inward breath. And remember what I've asked you to imagine, that you breathe in through the bottom of your foot to this point here. We hold it for milliseconds. Then what we're going to be doing is we're going to just take the arm out as we push out, as if we almost were pushing out, but again, not using the shoulders as much, just allowing the arms to float forward on the outward breath. So from the beginning again, we're going to raise the arms nice and gently on the inward breath to this position. Allow us to move the arms forward on the outward breath, opening the palms of the hand. Then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be turning the hands over so the palms are up. Now on this movement here, what I need you to do is in the web of the hand here, I want you to extend the thumbs on both hands. And when we open them, it's almost as if you're hitching a lift but you haven't got your fish clenched. Just pushing the arms out nice and gently until we feel a little bit of a pull in the shoulder. Then I want you to stop at that point. Don't go past it. Don't go to, just go wherever you feel that little bit of a stretch is there. On both sides. Then what we'll be doing is we'll be turning the hands over. So the palms now are facing the ground. We're going to bring the hands and the palms back towards each other. And then we're going to make a diamond shape using the index finger and the thumb. Notice my elbows are heavy. My shoulders aren't up, I'm not tense, they're down. And we're going to take this one down to the ground. This one's called Earth. Then we're going to raise the arms above the head. Elbows heavy. Then I'm going to turn the hands out and slightly push my elbows back a little bit. And I'm going to let them come back down again. So from this position again, we start again. So we allow the arms to come up. So the palms are in the sky. Pushing the palms forward on the outward breath. Turning the hands on an inward breath. extending the thumbs as we open the chest area, making it a metal exercise. Turning the hands over so the palms are down nice and gently. Outward breath as we bring the hands back towards the centre. Connecting, making that diamond shape as we continue the outward breath. Now you notice this is a long outward breath as we're coming down, so it needs to be controlled. If you need to take more than one breath, whether it be inward or outward, just please do it. Okay? Just remember to focus the energy coming through the ball of the foot. The arms now come up on the inward breath. And as we extend the hands around, pushing the elbows back very slightly, we use the outward breath to bring it back down again. Don't worry if you're not picking up this straight away. Obviously you can watch the video a few times, but we'll also be covering this over the next couple of classes as well. So the arms are floating back up. I'm opening the palms as I push the energy out through the palm. Turning the hand over, opening the web of the hand. Turning the hand over, closing the hands to make earth. Taking earth back down. Remember, I'm breathing through, and an outward breath, I'm breathing through the back of the ball of the foot, kidney 1. I'm allowing the arms just to float up. Open fingers as they come up. Turning the hands out, elbows back slightly, and just allowing the arms to float back down again into a wood exercise. So we'll go through the breaths as we're doing this now. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. And breathing in. And breathing out. Okay, we're going to go through that again in a few seconds, but just to remind you, I've been saying it all the way through at the moment, but to repeat myself, imagine now as we're doing the movements, I know you need to focus on the movements as well, but I just want you to imagine that you're breathing in through the back of the ball of the foot, kidney 1, and it rises on the inward breath all the way through the body, and then when we're exhaling, it descends down back through the body, through the legs, and back down through kidney 1. What we're working on is we're working on grounding ourselves into the floor, into the earth, but we're also working what we call a meridian system. So we're working 12 meridians. There's 3 in each leg, which is 6, and then there's 3 in the arms. And we also have 2 extras, one up the front and one up the back of the body. And this is what we're working when we're doing these breathing exercises. We're circulating this energy around the body. But just to, at this point, I just want to focus on working the 1 meridian, which is kidney 1, which helps us to ground and helps build up our energy levels. Okay? So what we'll do is we'll go through it again. I'm going to talk through the first maybe 2 or 3, just so we can get the movements again, okay, and the breathing. Then I'm just going to be quiet for a good few minutes after that. Just so you can have time to think and listen to your breath as you're breathing in and out. As I've said many times before, if you need to take 2 breaths doing this, 3 breaths even, that is fine. It's no problem at all. Just remember to focus that breath as it's coming in and out through that kidney 1. Okay. The other thing is, eventually your breath will reduce, so you'll start noticing if you're taking 3 breaths, it may, in time, after practice and practice, it'll reduce down to 2, and then eventually, hopefully, it reduces down to 1. Okay, so let's go with this one. So we're just going to focus in the breath, and when I start Qi Gong, I like to just have my palms facing each other, taking 3 deep breaths before we start. So we're breathing in. This allows me to settle my body and remove any twitching that I may have, my knees aren't quite right, or I'm waving backwards and forwards, as I said before. So it allows me just to adjust before I start. Taking the hands as they are, we raise them slowly on the inward breath, pulling that energy up through the legs, turning the palms out, opening the palms, not tense though, relaxed open of the palms as we breathe out, turning the hands over, extending the thumbs, opening the chest area, till we feel that little twinge in the shoulder, turning the hands over. Now we're going to be a long outward breath on this one. If it's a safe, you need to take a couple, just take a couple, it's fine. As we bring the hands back to the centre. Continue on the downward movement. This is an earth movement. Take the hands out slowly as we rise them above the head. And you notice all the way through this, my elbows are the heaviest part of my body and my arms as they work. Turning the hands, moving the elbows backwards slightly, and then just bringing them back down again. Nice and gently. And we start again. We allow the body to, the arms to lift, nice and gently. The body to sink. Pushing the arms forward. Opening the hands, turning the hands over and opening the web. Turning the hands back over so the palms are on the ground. Index finger and the thumbs are the part that we want to connect together in this one. As we take it back down to the ground. Taking it across the legs. And we're going to move the arms up now. Still keeping it as the heaviest part. Turning the hands out, elbows back slightly as we push the energy back down through the body and back down through that kidney on the breath. Okay, so we'll do all this together. So we're going 1, 2. What I would suggest on these movements is once you've got used to the movements and the breath, try and do it with your eyes half shut. Just helps you to focus just that little bit more on the movements that you're doing. Helps you with your breath. And don't rush. Qi Gong is a personal thing. Although in the class we probably all look as though we're doing this at the same time, it's a very personal thing. So if you're taking a little bit slower than somebody else, or you may be just a little bit quicker, don't panic about it. As I say, it's all very personal. You may want to sit with an exercise just for a little bit longer after you've completed it. And that's good. That's what it's all about. It's just allowing the body and listening to your body and let it tell you what it needs. So what we'll do in the next class is we will go through the same sort of exercise as we're doing today, but I'll go into a little bit further detail with regards to telling you what the exercise actually does, or what parts of the body it's actually working, and which meridians we're working with this, as well as the breath. But at the moment, please, when you're practicing this one, practice it for about 10 minutes a day if you can. Just focus on the breath and Wuji stance. And just listen to your body, listen to the breath. Don't over-analyze it. And we'll finish on this one. We're just going to stand there, placing the hands on top of each other, just underneath the belly button. Not moving out of Wuji stance, just standing there, focusing on our breath as we do this. Okay. That's almost the end of the class, guys. Thank you for joining me today. What I would say is, if there's any messages, please leave them on the Facebook page here, or contact me directly at Pause and Breathe. I will answer them. If there's anything you want me to go through again, please just drop me a line and we can cover it in the next class, or I'll try and make contact with you through Facebook. But just to quickly go over the points today, focus your mind on Wuji stance and the breath, breathing in and out of kidney 1. Okay, whether you're standing or whether you're sitting down, the exercises are exactly the same. Okay, that's it for me today. Thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you all in 2 weeks' time. Bye.